Okay, so this is our comparing decimals help or assistance video. It's for those of you who are taking the comparing decimals test. Here's a question you may see on your test. So, comparing decimals, it says, and you should write this down. So, you should pause this and write it down. Example 1, place the least and greatest number on the number line. Here's one thing that I'm noticing that what all of you or a lot of you aren't doing. You're not reading the question. You're not reading what they want you to do. You're looking at this as a whole and going, I don't know how to do this. Read the question. That's the first thing you need to do. Or read what they want you to do. So they only want the least and greatest number. So then I look at the numbers that they give me. They gave me 7 and 676 thousandths. Then they gave me 7 over 7 and 667 over 1,000. And then they gave me a number in expanded notation here. The only difference is I put the parentheses in because we always put parentheses, but they don't put the parentheses in. So know when you see a number that looks like this that it is expanded notation. Now the first thing I notice is, how can I compare these numbers if they're not the same? Here this is a decimal, here this is a fraction, and here this is expanded notation. I can't compare apples, oranges, bananas. I can only compare apples, apples, and apples. Now they're all different, so I need to make them the same. The easiest way to do that is to change them all to decimals. So this one is already a decimal. So I'm going to leave this one here. I think I'm going to just leave that one there. This one is really easy. The big number is a whole number, so it goes in front of the decimal. So I know I'm going to have a 7 and then a decimal. I have 667. I have 3 zeros. I have 3 numbers. This one means the first number going to go in the first number behind the decimal, right there. This 0 means this number is going to go right behind that. And this 0 means that this number is going to go right behind that. 3 zeros, 3 numbers behind the decimals, just like this. Thousandths means that I have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Quick way to remember it, if it's a thousandth and it's a 3-digit number, it goes right behind the decimal. If it was a 2-digit number, then you would have 2 numbers behind the decimal, but in the tenths place, you would have a 0. So let's look at this one. We need to change this to a decimal. Well, 7 times 1 is 7. That's my whole number. Plus 6 times 1/10. Well, I have to evaluate this here. So 6 times 1 is 6 over 10. Well, this is 10 has 1 0. That means it'll be 1 place behind the decimal. So 1 place behind the decimal is here. So I'm going to put my 6 here. 7 times 1 is 7 over 100. 100 has 2 zeros. That means it'll be the second place. This 7 is going to go the second place behind the decimal. So here's the first place behind the decimal. Here's the second place behind the decimal. And this last one, 7 times 1 is 7 over 1,000. Well, this has 3 zeros, so where do you think it's going to go? 1 0, first place, the 6 goes in the first place behind the decimal. 2 zeros, the 7 goes in the second place behind the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 3 zeros, the 7 goes in the third place behind the decimal. So 1, 2, 3. Now all of my numbers